Hi, I'm Tim Ferriss from the American Society of Preppers, here with more prepper quick tips for you, this time on personal travel security. And what I want to talk about is I want to talk about creating a loss prevention plan for important documents, high value items, and sensitive items like you see here. We have photo IDs, passports, credit cards, debit cards, cash-like instruments, and then other important documentation that we have over here. And so there are really two principles that you want to consider here. The first principle is you want redundancy in your system. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean, if your primary system fails, you want to have a backup system or backup systems that you can rely on should the primary fail. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by not carrying all of your items in one basket, right, or one bag, so to speak. So all of this I would not carry in one bag. I would separate it out, and I would carry some of the stuff on my person, and the rest of the stuff would be carried in my backpack, which I have with me all the time anyway. And so how do I know what to separate out? What are the items that I separate out? Well, generally with photo IDs, I'm going to carry at least one photo ID and maybe two photo IDs in my wallet. I'm going to carry at least one debit card in my wallet so that I can access cash via ATMs wherever I'm at. And I'm going to carry two credit cards with me, so that way if one fails, I have one to fall back on. As well, the debit card functions as a credit card, so that's a little bit of redundancy there. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to place that in my front pocket, and that's where I carry it when I'm traveling. I carry it in my front pocket. Why? Because it's much more difficult for a pickpocket to access items in your front pocket versus your back pocket. Number two, it's a lot more comfortable when you're flying, not having a wallet or something in your back pocket when you're sitting on long international flights or long bus rides, train rides, etc. And number three, it's less likely that your wallet or items are going to inadvertently fall out of your front pocket versus your back pocket. Okay, so the rest of these items I'm going to take and I'm going to put in my bag. Okay, and this is where I'm going to carry this stuff, in my pack. One quick note on passports: it's a good idea to have a passport cover. Not only does it protect your passport, but it also protects your nationality from casual observers when you're standing around. They might think you're from a certain place, but if they see your passport, then they know you're from America or wherever you're from. So it's a good idea to have a passport cover. These credit cards and debit card are my redundancy, so they're going in the bag as well. That brings us to the cash. What do I do with the cash? Well, with the cash, typically what I do is, one, I carry a minimum of about $500 with me anytime I travel, and frequently it's $1,000, $2,000. I won't carry more than $10,000 or $10,000 equivalent, because most countries, if you have $10,000 or the equivalent in their currency, you're required to declare that upon entry into the country, and that's not something that I want to do. So I carry less than 10,000. But typically, what I'll do is I'll take enough cash to support myself for 2 or 3 days should these electronically based items fail me, and I'll put that again in my front pocket, and that's where I'll carry it. The rest of the cash, I'll put it all together and I'll stick it in my bag, unless I'm traveling with my wife, and in that case she gives me $10 to carry, and then she takes the rest of the cash. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, the other documentation that I carry with me, it's always good to have digital copies, but I have hard copies as well of important documents like flight reservations, rental car reservations, hotel reservations, and in addition to that, I also carry hard copies of my passport. And if I'm entering a country that requires a visa prior to entry, then I'll have a copy of that visa prior to entry as well. So this is just a little bit of information about travel security, how to create a loss prevention plan and manage all of your high value items, important documents and sensitive items while you're traveling. You can learn a lot more about this stuff by visiting www.prepperskills.com, or better yet, become a member of the American Society of Preppers at www.americansocietyofpreppers.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.